Hi guys, I'm Jo Labbé, your host for Soul Connections this evening. We're here on Star Nations Radio Network, broadcasting through BeLive TV and Facebook land. How are you guys doing tonight? We are, in really funky energy this past week, and so I am hoping some of you are checking in later for the card draw because, boy, I'd like to know what's up. It feels a little different today, finally. It feels like energy's finally moving, at least on our end of things. But this is your time. This is time for us to connect, for us to do healing work. You, your spiritual team, and my spiritual team is allowing me, helping me to be a conduit so that we can move whatever needs to be moved. You set any intention that you would like to around your healing. And I know some people are doing some generational healing. Some people want to do some core wound healing, things that have been, really defining their foundation of their life. And others, have even been coming to me about things that feel past life. All of that can be worked on this evening as we do the healing meditation, because you're just working with your team on whatever you would like to clear and what you would like to release. And as we do that, we make more room for fuller, brighter energy to come in and give us a space to actually be more in flow and in sync in our own lives, and with the planet as a whole. A lot of people have been asking me about clearing stuff for their life purpose or their spiritual mission, because they feel like they're not quite doing what they're meant to be doing, but they can't see clearly what that's supposed to be. That can be part of your healing tonight too. So I'm glad you guys are here to join us. And we're going to do the meditation first, and afterwards, a lot of you know the drill. We're going to do a card draw. And tonight's deck is, again, the Druid Craft Tarot deck. And this is Philip and Stephanie Cargom. I feel like Neshi and I have been on the same page, because if you've been watching her card draws this month, she's been using a different deck of theirs, one of the Oracle decks. But isn't it interesting that we both felt guided, and this is literally the only deck I have of theirs. And hers is probably the only one she has too. And yet we both felt drawn in March to really use this particular deck. And I think that's because there's a lot of earth energy that is, coming to the surface, kind of being birthed in this springtime energy. And the Druid energy, is very connected to earth energy and the divine feminine. So maybe that's why. But that's what we're using tonight to do our connections. And all you have to do is say yes, please. And I will pull the cards in the order that they're requested. And I believe, and I'm going to get a head shake, I think, on this one, that Neshi will put a little thumbs up next to your name to let you know that you've been written down. Because that'll give you an extra, like, we got it. We got your name. You're in the list. So that you don't have to worry about it. And you can just focus on doing your healing work. And so I'm really glad that there are a number of you who are here with us live. And I know some of you, will watch us in the replay, because it's that important for you to do your own work. And you can help us reach more people by putting this out in Facebook land, by liking or loving and sharing the post. And you can share it to your own timeline. You can share it to a particular person, or you can share it in a group of like-minded people. However you're comfortable, we really appreciate it, because we really are trying to spread the healing. And it's helping us with our soul purpose. My mission is to heal the healers, and I can only do that if I can reach them. And so I'm glad you guys are here to help out with that and help me be in my purpose. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that, The other thing is, you know, we've been cranking out the readings on Wednesday nights. I'm really excited about it. I really love the flow of it. And so, because it really feels like energy is moving for a whole bunch of people. And for me, it's been super helpful to hear multiple messages that have a similar theme, because then you have a clue about kind of what's going on the planet for the week and how to navigate. So when you come up against that energy with somebody else and you've heard, you know, 10 people get the same card or a similar reading about having a certain energy, then you're like, oh, they're in that same energy that all those people were in. So thank you, because it gives us a heads up on not just what's happening for you, but it gives us an indication of what's kind of going on around us. So again, thanks for being here. For those of you who are newer, during the meditation, you're going to hear me making clearing sounds. They kind of sound like burps. That's me clearing the energy for the entire group. As energy is moving, it needs to get grounded quickly. And sometimes it's kind of lingering. So it's my job to kind of get it down and get it out. So we're not hanging on to it. Does that make sense? So let's get started. I want to make sure you guys are really grounded. Grounding has been difficult for people, especially this month. It almost feels like we're trying to ground through mud, right? And because of that, people kind of let themselves linger a little bit in the ethers, which is difficult because it's hard to get anything done if you're not actually in your body energetically. So let's start by taking a couple deep breaths. And if you can, I'd say put your feet on the floor, or, you know, if you're laying down, you know, make sure your back is flat on the floor. And if you're sitting cross-legged on the floor, just make sure that your legs are on top of each other, because we don't want to cross your circuits. Energy flows down both of our legs and both of our arms, as well as up and down our body. So we want to make sure that we're feeling our connection. So even before we call in the divine energy, why don't you take a couple of deep breaths and just see if you can feel your connection to the earth. Whether you feel it through your feet or your belly or your heart. Yeah. And feel the weight of your body, the muscles and your bones, like gravity pushing down on you. Yeah. And just for the moment, you don't need to hold in that belly. Nobody's looking. Just kind of let everything be as relaxed as you can. All of your muscles. Good. There we go. That's a little better. So we're going to start by calling in the divine energy, however you perceive that. Whether you connect to God, Goddess, Creator, oneness, consciousness, however you perceive the divine. We're going to call that energy in and connect to it. Got it. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Go ahead. And we're going to ask the divine energy to surround and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light. And if you need to, we can ask for a second bubble to be around your entire room or the entire space that you're in, if you need to feel more relaxed or more comfortable and more safe. Now we're going to ask the divine to just open and expand our connection to our spiritual team. And as we do that, we're just going to invite in our whole team, our angels, our guides, our ancestors, the star beings, our mystical, mythical creatures, our animal totems, all divine of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration available to us in this moment. And just notice the connection to your team and the divine at the top of your head, at the crown. Do you feel tingling or pressure? Do you feel hot or cold? And just invite the energy to begin to come down and clear in your third eye, around your brain. And really invite your energy to come into the present moment, releasing any energy you have distracted in the future, calling it home back with your breath. Calling any energy that you have stuck in the past forward as well. And really trying to calm the waves of energy that your ego, your survival body is creating, that those spinning sensations. Or anything that is making it difficult for you to focus or to sleep. And opening your eyes so that you can see and perceive things more clearly. And opening your ears so that you can hear the messages from your team, the communication with others, and allowing your communication, your needs, your wants, and your desires to be heard as well. Take a moment to relax your jaw. There's a lot of tension in the jaw tonight. So if you need to yawn, open, just really allow it to, those muscles to relax.
Right.
And allowing the energy to go into the throat and the throat chakra. And really opening and expanding the energy of self-expression, of truth, of wisdom to be spoken through you authentically.
Right. 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 Right.
And releasing all the energy that's locked in the neck and at the base of the skull.
Right. Right. Right.
And just really allowing space for the energy to flow down your spinal column as well.
Right. Right.
And at the top of the shoulders, really letting gravity push down on your shoulders, allowing them to relax and release.
Right.
There's a lot of burden energy being carried on the shoulders this evening. So really
Right.
allowing those burdens to fall off of you for this moment. You can pick them up when we're done. But in this moment, in this breath, this is just about you and your healing.
Right. 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 Right.
And also focusing on the spine behind the shoulders. And all the ways those muscles are very tight at the moment.
Right.
Really opening space in the spine so that the lymphatic system has room for energy to flow through so it doesn't get clogged, causing you to feel sluggish, tired,
Right. Right. Right.
cranky.
Right. 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 Right.
And moving into the rib cage and into the heart chakra and the heart and the lungs. And really exploring where the energy feels tight.
Right. Right.
And just inviting the divine energy to breathe looseness wherever you feel tight or compressed.
Right. Right.
You want more room to breathe fully, to be able to use all of our lungs and all the beautiful air that wants to flow through them.
Right. Right. Right.
And take a moment to feel the breath go all the way down into your belly, not just into your lungs.
Right. God. God.
And noticing your heartbeat and the blood flowing through your heart.
God. 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 God.
And inviting any grief, disappointment, or sadness that you've been holding on to gently dissipate.
God.
Releasing the energetic charge from the memory.
God.
Inviting any shame or blame that you may be holding on to.
God.
To gently ground
God.
and return to the earth.
God. 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 God.
And connecting to your inner child and just being aware of what is your inner child trying to communicate with you. What will help them feel joy, feel happiness, excitement, or wonder?
God. Yeah.
If they're holding on to any childhood trauma for you, gently take it back so that the child can have that wonder and to help you remember how to experience that joyful wonder as well.
God. 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 God.
And moving down into the lower right chamber of the heart and connecting to your inner adult, that responsible part of you that is so busy with all the doing.
God. God. God.
And inviting them to take a moment of rest and peace
God.
so they can spend a moment being
God.
rather than doing.
God. God.
Got a lot going on there in that heart tonight.
God. God.
And then the lower left chamber of the heart, connecting to your inner warrior. That beautiful part of you that is ready to advocate for what you believe in, to take action when needed, to defend and protect you.
God. God.
But in this moment, you're completely safe.
God. God. God.
And in that safe place, the warrior can also have some peace and some rest.
God. 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 God.
And moving into the upper left chamber of the heart and connecting to your sage elder, that wise, wise part of you that has been with you in each and every lifetime, that helps you connect to all the knowledge that you've ever had in any lifetime, and allows it to drop in whenever you need it and whenever you're ready. Really allowing the whole heart to feel loved and supported. Filled with unconditional love. One where you're accepted and loved for who you are in each and every moment. And moving down into your belly, into the solar plexus below your rib cage. And connecting to your inner fire. And just noticing what is squeezing or depleting. Your fire in whatever ways it may be. Looking at any fear that you may be holding on to here. And fear manifests in many different ways. It can manifest as anxiety. As frustration. As anger. Even righteous anger can reside here. Any stress or overwhelm that you may be carrying. There's a lot of stress in there. So just take a moment to be okay with your stress. Okay that we have stress to help us take action. But we're not meant to wallow in it or create any extra unnecessary stress that some of us are masterful at. And really release any energy that is compressing your self-esteem, your self-worth, or your self-confidence. And we additionally want to send healing to our inner critic. That part of ourselves that speaks unkindly to us, that sometimes bullies us. That sometimes creates an environment where self-love is difficult. We're going to take a couple of breaths to focus on the energy in our liver in particular. Because the liver is very important to cleanse in the springtime. And energetically holds a lot of old, unexpressed anger. So we kind of want to dissipate that energy so we don't have to have a volcano of anger erupt.
God.
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 There we go.
God.
And moving down into the second chakra, below the belly button and in our lower back. Again, in the lower back, allowing the spine to be supported.
God.
Allowing the lymphatic system to gently move downwards
God.
in its natural flow.
God. 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 God.
Really bringing our relationships back into balance so that we are steadily ourselves in the giving and the receiving of energy exchange with others.
God. God.
So that we don't collapse who we are to please others.
God. 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 God.
There we go. Good.
God.
And expanding the energy in our hips so that the manifestation and creation energy can flow evenly in our physical and our spiritual lives.
God. Yeah.
And also down into our first chakra.
God.
Right below the tailbone, really allowing any last energy that is creating a sense of instability or unsafety, any energy to do with family, money, your job.
God. God.
Any energy that is making it difficult for you to walk clearly and firmly in your life in a balanced and whole, complete way.
God. God. God.
And allowing the energy to flow down your thighs, creating more flexibility and adaptability to your environment and your circumstances.
God. God.
And moving through your knees, releasing any compression that may be caught there.
God.
Down through your shins and your calves. Through your ankles and your feet. And allowing the energy to go down into Mother Earth. And whether you perceive roots that go deep beneath the ground coming out of your feet, or you feel a giant cord of connection from your tailbone or from your belly or your heart, like a giant umbilical cord connecting you to the Earth Mother, however you experience that, really allowing that connection to the earth to expand and open. You may even feel your hara line or your crystalline tube open and allow all of the released energy to sort of dump into the ground, knowing that it's going to be composted and recycled into beautiful new creation energy for the entire planet. And feeling that energy as it goes down through the layers of the earth, past the rocks and the crystals and the dinosaur bones and the ancient civilizations, all the way to the molten lava center, the heartbeat itself of Grandmother Earth. And feeling that warm, loving, nurturing energy emanating from that molten lava center. And gently allowing it, that energy, to come up and begin to fill you, fill all those places that you are willing to release old, stuck energy and fill with brand new, loving, nurturing, supportive energy from the divine feminine. Filling your feet, your ankles. And you may sense that warm honey feeling, or it may feel like juicy mud filling in all the spaces. As it comes up your legs and your knees, up your thighs, into your pelvic floor, filling your whole pelvic bowl, your hips, your lower belly, and really allowing it to flow up your spine so that you have this unconditional love supporting you, filling all your organs so that they can move more gracefully in the flow. Allowing it to fill your rib cage and your lungs and your heart. And really making space in your heart for even more unconditional love. Kind of stretch and grow your heart. More love for yourself and more love to share with others. More understanding to share with others. Gently allowing that energy to begin to flow down your shoulders and your arms, filling your hands, filling your throat, your neck, the base of your skull, filling in your jaw and your sinuses, your eyes and your ears, your brain, and gently allowing the energy to begin to flow over and around you like a beautiful fountain. And as the energy flows around you, it begins to restore and repair your aura, healing any tears or cracks or holes. you may have there. Remembering that the aura is in front of us and behind us. On either side of us. And above us and below us. And it goes beneath our feet all the way into the earth. And it's healing through our physical auric layer, the emotional layer, the mental layer, and the spiritual layer, as well as radiating out through our past lives, through our karmic debt, in each and every dimension. And gently sending healing energy to Grandmother Earth for all that she does to love and support us. Providing us with food and shelter, water and food, air to breathe. And taking a moment of gratitude with your spiritual team, thanking them for being here with you as they always are, guiding you in your healing and what you needed to work on or needed to release. And we're going to take a couple of deep breaths and send any additional energy that we don't need down into the earth. And really, as we do that, start to notice the weight of your body, the weight of your head. Feel the gravity pushing down on your shoulders. And now gently reconnect with yourself. Begin to awaken and dissolve your meditation. You might want to rub your hands together, rub your feet on the floor, stretch, yawn, whatever feels good. Take a sip of water. I'm going to have a little sip of my decaf coffee. Cool. All right. So my team is telling me to give you the announcements now before I do the card draw. Because that way, you know, for those of you who hear your card and you leave, you miss some of the goodies that are coming up. So first of all, for those of you who are, you know, wanting to do this work deep, fuller, more completely, are ready to get out of your own way, ready to make some big changes, then come do it in person. I'm going to be at Star Nations in the beginning of May, yay! The 2nd through the 4th. And we are going to do this. I mean, you guys experience this meditation, right? And maybe you sit here for 2 hours with the readings as we go through. So what would it be like to spend almost 20 hours? That's what we're doing. That's what we're looking at in a small group setting. And the amount of healing and clearing, and you even get hands-on healing with me, as well as lots and lots of work. And we focus the group on where you're at. You know, lots of times there there's a theme for what people want to work on and what they're ready to move through. So if you're feeling stuck, come join us, because this is a big and powerful weekend. And I only do this at my school, at Trinity School of Mystical Energy Healing. And for that, we do 6 weekends a year. This is the only other time I do it separate, is for Star Nations. So here we are going to do our spring cleaning energetically. And if you're ready to shift your life, then come join us, because that's going to be a powerful weekend. And anybody who registers before April 1st, you're going to get a custom blend from me that's special just for you. And that means my team's going to come in. They're going to give me the channeled remedy for exactly what you need to be for what you're going to work on. And how cool is that? How powerful is that? So I invite you to come join us for that. And tomorrow is a big day on Star Nation. So I wanted to make sure everybody knew, it's Elder Day tomorrow. And we start off with Miss Connie. And she's at 10:30, I believe, Eastern Standard Time. Yes. And she's just got so much wisdom that there's always nuggets that when you hear it, it's like aha moments. It's so powerful. I really invite you to, join us for that. And then Neshi, of course, has her live card draw at 3 o'clock. And then that's followed at 4 by the magnificent Maureen Mann, who I personally have, a little special spot in my heart for her angel therapy. And again, she has a beautiful class that's coming up. And she also will do card draws at the end of hers. And then at 8 o'clock, it's the Mystery School with Ortun and Carl, right? I'm like, I see their names as one, and it's really hard. Like my team, it's a combined name. Maybe they had a twin soul. I'll have to ask them about that at some point, because I see one name for them. Hard for me to remember, but they're here with Neshi at 8 p.m. So with all that said, card deck tonight, the Druid Craft Tarot deck. There we go. Is that better? All right. And it's Philip and Stephanie Cargom. I can never say that. Cargom. And it's got a lot of Druid energy. So let's get going. So Cindy Lynn, you are my first draw, my dear. And your card is the 6 of Wands. So the 6 of Wands is, you can see that, they're riding back from a little battle. And this is saying, okay, there's been this battle, but you're on the horse. You're riding forward. You didn't get knocked down. Maybe not the most fun adventure that you've had in the past week, but you're in a higher place. And I know you're having some physical things going on right now. And I want to tell you that energy in your spine is really trying to clear a lot. So I hope that healing helped out. So as you go through what you're moving energetically, try not to think of it as a battle. Because when you are feeling like you are fighting your physical body, then you're working against each other rather than together as a team. Instead, your body is trying to tell you what is trying to move, and honor and respect that, and it will move more smoothly and less painfully. When our body has to show us pain, it's because our energy is really, really stuck. So it's just trying to give you an indication of what's not moving in your life and how to get it into your perspective so you can see it. You're not fighting with your body. You and your body are working together as a team. So try to hold on to that if you can. All right, Rob. The 6 of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is really, I don't know if you can see that there's money on trees around. And so it's that energy of you have plenty to give and share. And the team, what I'm hearing is, how are you giving back right now? How are you, we talk a lot in the different religions about tithing, where, you start to have plenty and you're meant to give a certain amount back to the community. How are you doing that? Because when we don't share our wisdom, our wealth, our time, whatever it is for us to give back, we get into a very stuck energy, like we go into a hoarding energy. So they're reminding you that you have plenty for you and you have plenty to share. So it's time for you to get out there and give back a little bit. Geez, play your music for people so that they can experience some joy for a few hours, right? That would be fabulous. All right, Julie. Yours is the Four of Pentacles. So now the Four of Pentacles is, see the lock and key. And I know you know interpretations of the Four of Pentacles. You're a gifted reader. But what I'm seeing for you is that they're showing that you've got something under lock and key. What are you not sharing with others? Are you not sharing the full Julie? Are you not sharing your heart? Are you not sharing your wisdom? Maybe you're not sharing your anger. So don't hold it under lock and key, because that actually can make it really difficult. It can make it hard for you to be fully you. And it's hard not to get sick when we're holding on to that kind of thing. So anything that you're holding on to, let it out and share it, and know that that's the best way for it to get moving. All right. Julie Shumway Hill, the two Julies back to back. So yours is the Seven of Cups. So notice in this one that the focus is all on the cups that are underwater and not on the cup that is next to it. And so in the Seven of Cups, we can focus on what's missing, what we don't have, what's gone, like the reflection of what's gone. Or we can focus on the fact that we were lucky enough to have those 7 cups, and we have yet, another one sitting ready for us. So this just means energetically for this week that try to do the best that you can to keep your focus on the here and now. I feel like other people are going to try to pull you into the past, looking at the back, like turning you around and making you look backwards. But keep realigning your focus to here, now, what's moving me forward. Because when we get looking backwards, we miss or trip over an opportunity that's right in front of us. All right. That's the big one for you. All right, Andrew. Nice. The Magician. I love the Magician in this card because I'm sorry, to me it looks like a disco pose. He just looks a little John Travolta. He's got his thing going on. So the Magician is one of the major arcana. So this isn't just your energy for the week. This is really what your soul is. Your soul's at the beginning of a new journey, and it's letting you know you have all the tools you need to take this journey. And you get to create the magic. You get to create the alchemy. We create our own life. We create our own circumstances. So remember that. Honor your creations. Even when you don't enjoy them, they're still your creation. And so it's time to sort of put on the Magician energy and see what you can create. What would you like to have happen in your life? And see how that can come to fruition. And for whatever reason, I'm really seeing like Merlin energy with you right now. And so it's an interesting thing. Like I'm seeing you in the pointy hat and everything. So maybe call on Merlin to help you access some of your inner magic, because that's energy is right here. All right. Lindsay. Hiya, sweetie. Nice card for you. This is a soul card. It's the world. Nice. It's about you really stepping into who you are right now. Duh. And as you're doing that, you know, things can flow easily to you and for you. You're at this sort of stage of completion at the moment. You've gone through a bunch of stuff. You've worked through a lot of stuff. And now you get to sort of stand in the fullness of Lindsay in a brand new way. And so, you know, be creative and allow that energy to flow, because everything's right there for you, however you want to access it. Opportunities in a lot of different directions. I feel like a lot of energy is moving for you on, you know, like job, finances, romance, soul lessons. Like they're all kind of in that new, and, you know, you've got this energy just to have it flow. So this too is not just for this week. This is kind of what your soul's up to right now. So nice job. That's great. All right, Anne. Of course. Well, we're on the soul tonight. So your card is the wheel. And I love this wheel because notice she's the one who drew it. She created it. She created with her magic wand. She created the wheel. And basically it's saying you are creating your life right now, that you are creating your own opportunities. I always see the wheel of fortune spinning, but there's no bankrupt cards, you know? It's like no matter what you choose, it's going to be the next right thing for you. So don't get caught up in the what should I do next and think that there's a right or a wrong decision, because whatever decision you make is going to move you forward. So let some of the worry go and let some of the anxiousness about, I'm just hearing a lot of there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. It's just have fun in the choosing. Spend some time having fun in the choosing, because this is all part of your soul's journey. And that's going to be up for you for a couple months now. So stick with that. It sounds really good. All right, Christina, of course. Five of Pentacles, my dear. And Five of Pentacles is what, you know, the fives can be a little difficult. You're kind of in the middle of the deck. And so it's really hard for you to see, but there's these two animals that are running in the light on the hill, and she's missing all of it. So in the Five of Pentacles, we kind of get into this, and this is just for the week. You're kind of in a woe is me kind of energy. Yeah, the damsel. Oh. And it's just that things right now are not the same. And because of that, you feel out of whack or out of balance. And that's okay. It's when we get like, oh no, this is bad. It's not a bad thing. It's that you're in a transition place and you're not certain of the next step. So you're kind of hiding your eyes to the possibilities at the moment because there's a little drama attached. I'm seeing a fainting couch, you know, where you could lay back on the velvet, you know, and gracefully faint. So yeah, there's a little drama on it. So just allow that to be. It's just for the week. And it's like, what are you being overly dramatic about? And just take a look, an honest look at it, and have a laugh if you can, because we all do it. We get caught up in our own stuff, and we're like, we make a big deal out of something small, and then we miss the little things that are in front of us. That's it, sweetie. No big deal. All right, Minnie. Congratulations on your house, by the way. I was so excited for you. No wonder. So your card is the soul card, the rebirth card. And I love this in this deck. I really do. Because sometimes it's the judgment card, which some people get all focused on the judgy part. And I love that this is, no, it's you, your child stepping forward, coming out from behind the walls and stepping out and starting a new day, a new being. And there's a lot of goddess swirls in the stonework, and there's this beautiful rabbit, which is all about, you know, fertile ideas and things, you know, repopulating. So this is a time for you to sort of become a new Minnie, which is great because it feels like that's what your life is doing. You're like, you're on to a new adventure. And so it's rebirthing you. Woohoo! I'm excited for you. Because this is all exactly how your soul needs it to be, wants it to be, and awesome. Awesome, awesome. All right, Toya. Nice to have you here. Your card is the Seven of Pentacles. And notice he's cutting the fruit down off the tree. It's kind of hard to see that there's like little berries in there, but he's cutting it down off the tree. And so in this card for this week, it's saying it's time to reap what you've sowed. It's things that you set in motion a while ago are going to start to come to fruition. They're going to start to come into your life. It's like all that hard work that you've done is going to start to pay off. And so just be in a place of gratitude as these good things come your way, because that way more and more will come. It's one of the things we often don't do very well is we're surprised when something good happens and we don't say thank you, or more of the same, please, to your spiritual team. Yes, and more, please, you know, because you've worked really hard. But life does not have to be a struggle for you, sweetie. You can actually enjoy life and have good things come to you. So they're rewarding you for all the hard work, but you don't have to work so hard all the time. All right? Okay. Kimberly. Of course. The Eight of Wands. Yes. All of those wands from the battle. And this is that energy of there's been all of this battle energy for you. And this is not just this week. You've had this for a while. And now you get to stand in a place where you don't have to be attacked, but you can throw spears if needed, you know, but it's more of it can be done from a distance. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go toe to toe, head to head. It can be the cranky text messages back and forth. But you have a lot more air around you, more room for you to breathe, which I know has been something that you've needed. So know that in the next week, you're going to actually have that space back and you're going to have some room to breathe, and any fighting is going to be done from a distance. Nice. All right, Bobby. Of course. I keep forgetting to look up this one. The Fairlet. In the traditional tarot deck, it's the Temperance. But in here, there's like the cauldron, there's a rainbow. She's mixing her own potion. So basically, what your soul is doing right now, because this is one of your soul cards, your soul is up to creating a new part of you, is kind of how I see it. It's not so much that it's a lesson for you, it's that you are sort of percolating. You are deciding who Bobby's going to be now. You're deciding how you're going to move forward in your life. You're in this place where things are brewing, not in a bad way, in a what are we cooking for dinner kind of way. And you're getting to throw in a little bit of like your sassiness, and you're getting to throw in a little bit of love energy, and you're brewing this new thing. And it's you are in control, and you are the one who is creating it. So be mindful of what you let your mind linger on. When we spend too much time in negative thought, we create that negative thought. And I know that's not something that you do regularly, but notice if other people try to drag you there, okay? Because you're in that place where you're cooking, and we want a nice, clean oven that has some beautiful love and new intention around it for you, okay? All right. Jackie, of course. Another soul card. Yours is the Moon. And I love the Moon card. It's got so much goddess energy, all that water, all that emotion. And this is really, you know, the Sun card, the Star card, they get a lot of props. The Moon is really when you are willing to shine your light in the darkness. When you're willing to be the connection between kind of like the shadow and the light energy. And it's a really difficult place for us to walk, but it's a very powerful place for us to walk. Because if we're willing to be ourselves, even when there's dark energy around us, and I'm not saying evil or anything like that, it's more of there's a lot of people who are in negative self-talk right now. They're really in a lot of, they're not saying nice things to each other. They're not in that nice, loving place, right? There's a lot of that going around. But that doesn't mean we have to go there with them. We can still shine our light. We can still be in the love energy. And we don't have to go into negativity if we don't want to. So this part of your soul's journey is, how do you shine your light even when there's negativity around you? And it's a lesson we're all trying to do right now. It's a big lesson for the planet because it's so easy to go, oh no, it's dark outside. But no, when the moon is shining, you are illuminated, right? And so can everything around you. You can be the beacon in the darkness. So this is, how do you shine your light? And I invite you to find as many ways as you can, because we often know there's one thing that we're good at, but we're not here to do one thing. We're here to do a bunch of things. So figure out all the ways you can shine your light and get to it, because we need it. All right, Laura, of course. This one's a toughie. The 8 of Swords. This is just your energy for the week, so don't freak out. So in the 8 of Swords, the swords are all around, and it feels like you're caged in. So you may be having this feeling of being trapped. You're in a stuck situation that you don't know how to get out of, but it's all an illusion. It's an illusion that you've created or that your ego's created, like, oh, we can't do it without them, or we can't do this on our own. Baloney. So know that anything that you're rubbing up against that is like an inner struggle or that is really tweaking your nerves this week, it doesn't have to. It's something that you may feel like you can't get out of it, but if you stop and you really think about it, we always have a choice. We're never absolutely stuck in something. There's always free will. There's always a way to shift things. But when we sit in this energy, we can pretend that we're the victim. And you are not the victim. You can be victorious. When you stand in your own power, then all the illusion will melt away. And you'll be like, why didn't I think of that sooner? All right, go for it. All right, Mary Ellen. Nice. Ace of Cups, my dear. Woohoo! Aces are gifts from the divine. And the cup is the divine handing you your Holy Grail. And the Holy Grail is our true spirit. So it's time to fill your personal cup. What brings you joy? What brings you love? Because the divine is here to help you with that. And it wants you to be full of your own self. And it wants you to have your emotions fully. And it wants you to be on your spiritual journey, however that is supposed to be. And you're being guided to step out into that, to step into being you and step out into letting other people see that part of you too. It's one thing for us to own who we are, but we have to share it with other people. And that sometimes is not the easiest thing, but the divine has got your back. So it's time for you to do some of that. All right, Pat. Of course. Ah, the Lord. I love the magnificent antlers on his crown. You know, they're just like big. I mean, they're big. I don't know. They're huge. How many points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16? 16 points. For those hunters out there, they'd be real psyched for a 16 point. So the Lord energy, again, is a soul card, and it's really you being in control, you being in command of your life right now. And it's very much a masculine energy. And lots of times people are like, well, why am I having masculine or why am I having feminine? Well, a Lord doesn't take anything from anyone else. They don't take baloney. They're very straight talkers and they know what they want and they know how to get it. And that's the energy that you're being encouraged to develop for yourself right now in your soul, is speaking what you need, saying it succinctly, and basically not allowing anybody else to tell you differently. Nobody tells the Lord what to do. You know, they can go and ask for guidance. You can be that person who's there to offer your wisdom, but you are very much in control of your own life, your own kingdom, and your own journey. And the more you own that, the more easily this section of your soul's journey and your lessons are going to be. Because we don't want to go into the victim energy, right, of that illusion place. This is like, you are in command. So own it and do it. It's perfect. All right, Christine. Hello. Ah, nice. The 3 of Cups. I love this. Everybody's toasting and enjoying company. So this card is very much about friendship and getting together and having, having a good time with them. Whether that's your friends, it's your families, but it's, I I have a good friend who, well, I have a couple of them, but I have one of my good friends, you know, when we get together, it's, you know, we toast with margaritas. You know, it's like, oh, it's time for us to have a margarita and enjoy that we're together and have some good food and good conversation, yummy conversation, and maybe get up and dance and have some fun. So that's the energy that wants to come out. How are you going to play, and how are you going to have time with your friends? You know, yes, this can be family as well, but it has this really like gathering of friends and camaraderie and like having that time to like chat and just have a good time. And you don't have to hold on to any pretenses. You can just, you know, relax and be you and have a good time. So have fun. Let us know what that is, because that sounds like fun this week. All right, Michelle. Ah, you are the 9 of Pentacles this week. So the 9 of Pentacles has a very soft Mother Nature kind of energy. She is in command of, you know, her castle, but she is very mindful of the nature around her. So it often feels like a Mother Nature card. So it's very much of you connecting back with nature, but also being in a very comfortable place within that, so that you are taking care of your land, your animals, your trees, yourself, and that fills you up as well. I don't know what the weather is where you are, you know, but if you're having a little spring thaw, I would really encourage you to get outside and just be in it some way so that you can feel that connection. And if you can't do that, then try to recreate it within your home, because it's that sensation of you and nature being one, and it fills you up. It puts you in a place where you feel really comfortable and really happy and energetic. Nice. All right, Christine. No? I have Christine Hines. Okay. Yeah. Karen's first. Christine's first, right? Mud, definitely. Card, please. You have to understand that I'm communicating mutely with Neshi. Her and I can see each other. You can't see her. So when I randomly look like I'm talking to someone, yes, it could be my spiritual team, but it might just be Miss Neshi. So here you go, Christine. It is the lady. So we've had the Lord, and now we're having the lady. Now notice she's a little more relaxed on her throne than the Lord. The Lord is like very sitting up straight and ready to take command. The lady is pregnant and she's got her food and her feet in the water, and she's just going to lay back and get waited on. So right now your soul is in this place of, how do you rule your kingdom from this relaxed feminine place? And what I'm seeing is that you've tried being the masculine energy. You've tried setting the boundaries. You've tried setting the rules, my way or the highway. Yeah, it's not worked so well. So now how do you call in your mama bear? How do you rule your household from a nurturing place, but still not putting up with any baloney from anyone? It's a shift energetically, and it's inviting you to call in the divine feminine a little more, and to call in your spiritual team a little more. And she's really comfortable in nature as well. And so maybe you need to connect a little more with nature as well. I mean, all of us do. We've been hibernating, right? you know, so it's like time for us to get out there and stretch our wings, and a little bit of spring fever is coming in, you know, cabin fever, right? Because we've been stuck inside. So really allow that juicy feminine energy to come in, and maybe just allow some of that stricter, harsher male energy to kind of dissolve, because you don't need that right now. All right. All right. Now Karen's card. Ah, King of Swords. So the King of Swords is really, you know, wielding the sword. Swords often are about knowledge. So you are the king of your kingdom, and you have all the knowledge that you need to rule your life, basically. And so this is a very edgy card for you, because this is calling on you to stand in your masculine energy, but in a way that you're using knowledge as your power. So when we use knowledge as power, we want to be really mindful not to call in the know-it-all, because the know-it-all can be like, I know better than you, and can put somebody down with knowledge. This is being in a place of wisdom and imparting your wisdom. So there's like this fine line that you want to you know, the edge of the sword is what the line, right? So you wield the knowledge from a place of sharing your wisdom, but without, you know, using your sword to make somebody feel down. I feel like this has to do with work. I'm seeing that you need to like use your sword wisely as you're imparting the knowledge, so that you can make the movement forward and you are in charge. So there you go. Ashley, thank you for joining us. Ah, you have the Prince of Cups. So the Prince of Cups, the horse has all 4 feet on the ground, and it's actually kind of the horse is looking down. Notice that the horse is looking one way, the prince is looking another way. So part of this is you're about to sort of move forward energetically. You're ready to go forward, and that you're like, all right, here we go. And the cup is all about emotions, that you have all of the emotions to get you through and do the next phase. Make sure that you and your horse are in alignment. And what that means is, are you and your spiritual team, you know, on the same journey at the same time? If they're like focused on you doing this on your soul's path and you're focused on something else, you're going to get thrown from your horse. So really make sure that you're checking into your intuition as you're doing this. You have this beautiful cup full of emotional, intuitive energy. Use it, because then you will get to gallop through this part of the week, rather than, you know, you're heading one way and all of a sudden you get sidetracked or thrown from the horse. So use your intuition, sweetie, this week, especially because it's going to be really important. All right, Barbie. Hello to you too. Ah, another soul card. So yours is the Tower, my dear. Look at the divine lightning strike there. And the people thrown to the ground. So this generally means that you're going to get a cosmic 2x4 sweetness sometime soon. And that means that you're going to have this aha moment of, oh my gosh, this is not right for me. And what happens is we're often thinking too small. We're being less than who we are. We've been pleasing other people and doing what they've wanted us to, and it just doesn't fit anymore. It's like you're wearing clothes that are too tight, and you're going to need to shed them and step into a new Barbie. And as that happens, it can be very unsettling. So this is a soul card. So this isn't just for this week. This is for, a little stretch of time. And so this may be a time where you're shedding a bunch of things that don't work for you anymore. It may be people, it may be beliefs, it may be patterns, and whatever it is, it's all to help your soul take the next step forward, to journey forward into a place of spiritual growth and transformation. We get comfortable being ourselves, and sometimes we don't want to stretch and grow. And if we don't listen to all the nudges from our spiritual team, then they shove us out of the building. And trust me, I've had this card multiple times in my life, and every time, but always after the big explosion is something so much better than I could ever have imagined. And sometimes that's what's the problem, is that we can't imagine it even being better. Okay? All right, Kimberly. The Four of Swords for you this week. So the Four of Swords is a very contemplative place. There's a lot of thinking going on. So it's kind of like you're done with one battle, but you're still stewing over it a little bit, and you're trying to figure out the next strategy. So be really mindful that you ground yourself every day, maybe more than once a day, because otherwise you can get caught in your spinning thoughts. The what if, and maybe it could be, possibly, and then you aren't getting anywhere except a headache. Okay? So in that contemplation, it's fine as long as we're sitting in our heart space, but this is more of sitting in a head space. So just catch yourself when you get caught up in your thoughts and spinning in them. Go take a walk outside, or do something to ground yourself in that moment, and bring yourself back to the moment so that you don't waste your energy that way. All right. Kirsty, of course. You have the King of Cups, my dear. So the King of Cups, he's got his cup. He is in charge of his kingdom. The cups are all about, you're in charge of your own emotions. You're in charge of your own intuition. And the masculine way of doing that is that we don't ask anybody for help. We've got it. We can do it all on our own, which is not a bad thing. It just means that you're less in a place of taking care of other people's emotions and more in charge of just being you. So make sure this week, as things are coming up, that you are staying in control of you and that you're not getting dragged into other people's emotional drama. I see a number of drama queens around you. And we all have those friends and family, right, who just can go on. And you want to hold your own emotional center and not get pulled into it. Don't get pulled into that political argument. Don't get pulled into that, gossiping place, because then you're giving your cup away. Okay? So time to just sort of, you can be around them because we can't really help it, but you don't have to go there with them. Okay? All right, Brandy. Sure thing. Another soul card. So this one is the Chariot. So she is riding on the chariot. She's in control of both horses, and she's wielding her weapon, and which is really like a staff, you know, which is she's in control and she's wielding the steps of her journey. When you see the two horses, it's being able to manage the shadow and the light at the same time. That we're not pretending that the shadow doesn't exist. We're just owning the fact that, you know, if push comes to shove and somebody, you know, is trying to push us into our negativity, we know that we can be negative. We know that we can go there, but we don't have to. So when we're in this part of our soul's journey on the chariot, it's like you're learning to walk between the two. You're learning to still be you and not get dragged one way or the other. And this is a really important lesson. We have to do this multiple times in our life because there are a lot of other people who want to tell us what our chariot is, and they want to drive it for us. You know, they're trying to be helpful, but they're trying to take over our lives and control of what we do and how we do it. It's time for you to take the reins, time for you to take the wheel, time for you to drive your own life right now. And the more you can say no to other people, the stronger that energy is going to get and the more momentum you're going to get on your soul's journey right now. All right. That's a big one for you. So hold on. You got this. All right, Caitlin. Nice to have you here. You have the Lover's card. And the Lover's card is also one of our soul cards. And part of our journey is we're not here on this planet alone. We're not meant to be alone. So how do we hold our soul in relationship with other people? Do we lose ourselves in someone else? Do we give our power away? Or do we come into it in a balanced and connected way where you are both fully yourselves? So this is looking at your relationships. Often the thing that comes up is, you know, how codependent are you in your relationships? And we all have codependency when we're in relationships, but it becomes toxic when we are depleting ourself. And so, or we're in an energy where we're depleting someone else. You know, when you both can shine your light and it's not a competition. You both can hold who you are and still enjoy and embrace each other around that. That's when you're in a true soul relationship. But if somebody is giving up part of who they are, then you're not in it. You're not in it fully. So there's this little part of you that's going through that test right now. How are you doing it? How are you standing in relationships? And it doesn't have to always be a love relationship, but it's somebody with whom love is exchanged. So it can be a family member, it can be a close friend, or it can be a romantic relationship, but it's that higher heart energy that's being exchanged. All right. All right, Carol. 5 of Cups, my dear. So in the 5 of Cups, those 5s are a little difficult in the middle. So this feels a little bit of like sadness, a little bit of grief or disappointment. And there's a little bit of focus on the past. You know, like when we have a fight with a friend and we wish we didn't say what we said and we wished we could have taken it back and we kind of keep replaying that over and over in our mind, that's the kind of energy. So it's a little bit of sadness. It's a, you know, I don't want to say it's grief, but it's you're again looking a little backwards and not forwards. You know, those difficult conversations, we maybe wish they didn't happen the way they did, but there's so much healing that can happen after that. And maybe it's because you're in a place where you needed to shed. We had a lot of combative energy last week. So I'm not surprised that we're having some people who are having the, ugh, I wish that didn't happen last week energy, or the regret or the disappointment. But don't wallow in it, because there's a gift from it. There's a thing to look forward to, and there's always ways to heal it in ourselves, okay? So you got this. All right, Mitchell. Your card is the Two of Pentacles. So things may feel a little bit up in the air right now, like she's juggling, which can be a little unnerving, a little chaotic. It feels like all the balls are in the air, and nothing feels bad, but it can feel a little unsettling. But know that in the Two of Pentacles, that it's the universe helping you juggle. So you are being held, you are being guided with infinite love and infinite light. So even though things may feel very up in the air, it's more that they're being gently tossed back and forth, and that there's nothing to worry about. The ball's not going to drop. You're very balanced. It just may feel a little unsettling right now. And just don't go into the negativity of like, oh no, it feels and the worry of it's unsettled. This is really, it's like, no, you're juggling a few things for something better to come in. And think about how fun it is to watch somebody juggling. It's not a big deal. The balls are in the air, but they get caught every time, right? All right. Well, unless you're terrible at juggling, but all right, Jacqueline. Yours is the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is usually about the inner child. And so we're sort of looking backwards, but we're looking inwards at the inner child. So it's time for you to like nurture your inner child. What can you do to play with your child? Because when our child doesn't have enough attention, they get cranky. And when our inner child gets cranky, they create a lot of drama and a lot of chaos in our lives. So I'm feeling like literally you skipping, you know, like what brings you joy, or what brought you joy as a kid? So I'm seeing you like skipping and jumping and blowing bubbles, and it's, you know, kind of the fairy sparkles, but your inner child needs to have some fun. And that can just be, you know, it can be as easy as watching, you know, a kid's movie. I love to make myself laugh by watching, you know, a Disney movie and singing along, or watching some cartoons, you know, and just something that is joyful and fun. But, you know, if you have the ability to get outside with your inner child, she would really like that. And I'm like, I'm seeing the jumping and the skipping and the hopscotch and sidewalk chalk and bubbles and all sorts of stuff outside. So tap into your inner child and see what she needs, because you don't want her throwing a fit. All right, Robin. You have the Princess of Pentacles. So the princess has all that she needs. She's royalty. Pentacles often have to do with money and stability. But she's heading out on her own journey. And the princess energy for you this week is, it's like a new journey. It's kind of tentative. You're not really the queen, but you're still royal. You still have that sense of like going out there and doing it and trying it for yourself. And you have everything that you need. So anytime that it comes up that, you know, oh, you need this or you need that, or you don't have enough of this, let that go, because that's other people's worry for you. I feel like there's a number of people who sell you short, that, you know, You are plenty. You have plenty, and the divine has completely got your back. So, our parents can't help but worry about us. Our friends can't help but worry about us. But we can lovingly say, I get that you're worried, but I got this. And that's what I'm feeling for you this week as you sort of step outward into your new sense of self right now. That's what it feels like. All right, Ellen, I'm grabbing a drink of coffee. You get that. And your card's sticking right out. Oh, gosh, dear. 9 of Swords? Really? All right. So, 9 of Swords. It's that energy where this is for the week. So I'm not sure what's going on with your week, but this sense of like, oh no, everything's going wrong. Everything's happening to me. Why is this happening? It's very whiny. But it's that old energy of things are happening to me, where it wants to go into victim energy. Why is this happening to me? Why can't this go right? Why? It's like, you're not a victim. This is not happening to you. This is happening for you. And lots of times, for us to create change, we have to go through things that are difficult so that we can't stand them, so we actually do change. And it feels like there's some turmoil that's going to come up, and it's not going to be easy. And as part of that, you get to choose. Are you going to sit and whine about it or complain about it, or are you going to take some action and shift it? And it's all up to you. And remember, you have a tribe of healers around you that can support you when you feel like you can't hold yourself up. Okay? Reach out to them when you need it. Okay. Marilyn. Four of Cups. It's interesting. There's like this blend of energy that's coming up in this week. There's people who are like really taking some big spiritual energy and learning to manage it and working on big soul lessons. And then there's a number of people who are dealing with the after effects of that kind of sludgy energy that we had last week. And so for you, Marilyn, it's the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups, again, is when we focus on the cups that have been spilled and not on the cups that are full. So notice when negative thinking wants to come in. That glass half empty, or is it the glass half full? And we don't even recognize it sometimes when we're in it because everybody around us is in it too. So take moments to notice of like, when do I feel my energy dropping? When do I feel tired? When do my shoulders droop? When am I slouching? And when that happens, look at what is collapsing your energy. And usually it's because we're focused on the past or the future. But in this case, this whole night, it's been people who are looking backwards, looking back at, oh, I wish I hadn't said that. Oh, I wish that I hadn't done that. Or, oh, I wish, they hadn't said that. It's looking back and not, you're in regret, rather than that happened for opportunity. Opportunity for multiple people to grow. And either you grow or you stay stuck in the muck. It's up to you, So focus the best you can on how can I shift this to positive? Okay, this thing happened, but there's a good reason. And maybe it's because, I mean, I know somebody who got fired last week, and they were like, oh, I got fired. And it's like, you hated that job and you wouldn't leave that job. And so the universe took care of it for you and you got fired. So now you have the opportunity to get a job you love. So yay, you got fired. So now you can actually look for a job you love. So it's shifting your perspective, right? Does that make sense? All right, Tina. Of course. I'll do yours first. So yours is the Princess of Cups, my dear. So the princess, again, is moving forward on her own journey. A little tentative, but she's got everything she needs. And this is all about using your intuition and your heart to guide you. And you know how to do that. Trust your instincts, trust your intuition. Don't second guess yourself because you don't need to, you know? And, you know, those of us who have that really strong ability, you know, there's times we get hits that we're like, ooh, I got to check in and see with somebody else if this is what they're getting too, because it's a big one. It pushes us out of our comfort zone. But you're heading on this beautiful, lovely journey. And so use your heart, use your intuition to guide you. And things are just going to happen and open magically for you. So really tap into that because you have that ability. All right. And Ashley, your card is the High Priest. So again, another soul card. And the High Priest, you know, again, they're in charge, right? But the High Priest has that spiritual quality. And so it's different than the Priestess. The Priestess is very connected to the Earth Mama. The High Priest is very connected to the Divine Masculine. And so this section of your journey, it's time for you to connect to the divine. And know that you are in direct communication because the priest is the direct line, right? Or a priestess. They're the direct line between the divine. And that's who they're taking their instructions from. So check into your intuition constantly for as you move forward. And I mean, it sounds very similar to Tina, right? And it's very much part of your soul's growth right now that I feel like you need to also own some of your own spiritual rituals. What things help you connect more fully? Do you meditate? Do you journal? Do you do yoga? Do you go for walks? What is your way to connect? And I have certain rituals when I do things. You know, I light candles, or I sage, or I use my oils. What are you doing to set the intention that you are in this moment connecting to the divine? And call in that kind of energy as well, because that will help clear up things. Oh, Allie. Okay. Yes. I was like, I did Christine. Okay. So Allie, the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is really about sitting in your own power and knowing that knowledge is the key. It's time for you to own the knowledge that you have. It's actually time for you to gain some more knowledge. I feel like you're meant to go back to school somehow for something. Feels very spiritually connected. So that's the best thing I can say around that. But you are the one who has to take charge. It is your life. And it's time. It's past time for you to step into who you are. We go through phases where it's It's uncomfortable having to be ourselves. It's nice when other people tell us what to do and how to do it. But that only lasts for a certain point in time. You get to a certain age or a certain energy, and yeah, you got to stand in your own power. So that's what you need to do right now. And there is some education involved for you with a spiritual blend to it. Not sure what that means, but hopefully you do. All right, Susan. Yep, we got it. It's not too late. So you have the Prince of Pentacles. I kind of love that you have a horse card because, you know, you love horses. You're very connected to horses. And this is a very grounded horse. And you are not so grounded normally. So I like the fact that your horse is grounding you. So the Prince of Pentacles is, again, it's that younger energy that's ready to go on a journey. And in the Pentacles energy, it's like, what are you ready to build? What are you ready to create? And some people think of this as money, but this is a lot about the foundation for who you are. And so you're just on that step. You're ready to go forward. You're ready to take that next leap. But thank goodness your horse is very grounded. So your spiritual team is very grounded, even if you're not. So make sure that you're really grounding every day, that you're connecting to that energy. And I think we talked about this before, but you are somebody who would do well to ground with their heart. Connect your heart to the heart of your horse, your spiritual team, and how they're guiding you, and you're riding through with them. And that's your energy this week, sweetie. All right, Susan. Of course. So your card is the Nine of Wands. Whew. Looks like you've had some rough battling, my dear. A lot of combatant energy, you're still standing, but a little wounded from all that's been going on. So the Nine of Swords is basically, okay, the battle energy is done. You may not be in the best place, but you're still standing. So you can focus on the past of the battle and how you got wounded, or you can start to heal. And so it's encouraging you and inviting you to not worry about the battle and how the wounds came to being, but how do you heal from the wounds and how do you move forward on your journey? And it's also, I'm feeling too, like, don't let this get you down. Pick yourself up. You know, sometimes it's enough that we made it through, right? It's not about winning or losing. It's not a competition. It's that you made it through. And now what are you going to do next? Because time for you to just move forward. Nice. All right, Gina. You guys, with these wands. Yours is the 10 of Wands. Look at all those wands. Look at all those sticks. This is the card when you are carrying too many burdens for other people, babe. Too many things you've said yes to that you meant no. Too many responsibilities. Too much weight of the world on your shoulders. See that pack? Cut the cord and drop it to the ground and walk the heck away from it. You are not somebody's pack mule, my dear. It is time for you to walk forward in your life the way you want to and unleash all of this other energy that people have placed on you. As women, we often are like, sure, I'll do that because we want to be nice. It's time to not be nice. You go, oh, this is your wand. You take that back. Oh, this is your wand. You take that back. I'm not carrying this for you anymore. You need to carry your own stuff. Because this will have you have this weighted down feeling, and it'll feel a little depression energy, except it's not depression. It's not in the right location. You've just got too much on your plate, and most of it you didn't even put there. So hand it right back to the people who gave it to you, okay? Let that go. All right, Emily. Three of Pentacles. Love this. The Three of Pentacles is you are in the space that you're starting to create who you are. You're creating your own temple. You're creating how you are going to do your spirituality, and other people are taking notice. They're starting to notice Emily stepping into Emily. And I love the cat who's underneath kind of pushing you up. It reminds me of my kitty Ocelot. Like, all right, I'm going to be your helper. You know, he's my supervisor when I work. He basically lets me know when I'm doing things right or wrong. So you're being held up even by your totem animals. So as you're building your own temple, make sure you're putting only into it love and what you want. Don't put anything in there that doesn't belong to you. All right, Maria. Princess of Wands. Woohoo! Another one on the journey. The Princess of Wands, she's stepping forward and taking steps to try new things and be a new person. And it's a very youthful energy. And that's a great energy for you to step into this week. Like, okay, what new things can I try? What new ways can I be Maria? And maybe there's some fun new ways that I can adventure and journey forward. Maybe I'm going to take a new path. Maybe I'm going to find a new way to express myself. But this is all about you having that kind of carefree attitude as you make your choices this week. Don't get caught up in being a grown-up all the time. Really take some time to have some fun in your choices. Pick things that make you happy. All right? Robin. Of course. Another soul card, the Justice card. The Justice card is about creating balance in our lives. And, you know, for some people that feels like it's in between right and wrong. When I see this, it's when your soul is in balance between your physical life and your spiritual life. When we're out of balance, we get really cranky. And then when we're cranky, we get very judgmental. And remember that knowledge is power. And in addition, there's having that open-hearted sensation of being just and fair. And I'm feeling like part of this is for you to really learn how to do that for yourself. It's almost like you need to bring balance to your inner critic. The inner critic's been a little noisy and telling you who to be and how to be. And they're not even really connected to who you are. The inner critic is very much in a fear place. So you bringing the energy into your heart and saying, no, I'm going to choose from my heart. I'm going to choose what makes my heart happy. Then you're going to restore some balance into your life. All right. Crystal. Of course. The Death card. And no, this does not mean death. Well, it means ego death. Basically, this card is, it's time for you to shed who everybody else thinks you are. And when we go through that period of time, it can feel like a death. It can feel like I don't know who I am anymore. And that's because who you were before wasn't you. When we're in alignment with our soul, we never forget who we are. When we have that amnesia of, I don't know who I am, that's when you're actually getting closer to knowing who you are. And so we often have to go through a little death for that to happen. And it's usually a big transformative event that makes room for so much more of you to come forward, so much fuller version of Crystal to step forward. So again, be mindful of, don't be caught up in what's being lost. Be more aware of what opportunities are being expanded and opened for you. All right, Mickey. Jeez, 10 of Swords. What is it with you guys in these 10s? All right, we had the battle energy last week. There was a lot of battle energy. You are not on the winning end of this. So in this card, it's like, stop fighting. It's over. It's done. There's no fixing this situation. There's nothing more you can do. You've done everything humanly possible to fix this situation. Now cut it out and move on. It's done. It's over. The situation is as dead can be. Drop it. No but ifs. Move away, and move away quickly, because there's no salvaging it. And sometimes that's a really hard thing to hear, but we can spend so much wasted energy trying to make something work that is not going to. Take a deep breath, step away, and walk forward, sweetie, because there's so much better on the other side. All right, Beatrice, 2 of Swords. So when the 2 of Swords comes up, it's time to use your logical brain to make the decisions, which is not often the case. It's check into your emotions, but sometimes our emotions, get the most of us. It puts us on a roller coaster and we can't focus. This is about what's the next logical step. And very clear cut from a very knowledge-based place. And it doesn't mean that your heart's not in it. It just means that we're not reacting from an emotional place. We're taking action from a very thoughtful, thought out plan. So if somebody tries to pull you into making a decision, an emotional decision, say, I'll get back to you. Because you don't want to get caught up in that energy. You want to be able to choose, like to say no when you really mean it. And sometimes people poke at us to try to make us do what they want. So it's not the week for that for you, okay? All right, Lori, hi, welcome. Glad you're here. All right, 4 of Wands, my dear. Woohoo! There's the home fire. There's the celebration. This is all about coming home. And you've been on a journey, haven't you? And now you're finally settling back into home, your home, who Lori really is. And I love this card for you because there's a lot of celebration around it. So it feels like there's a lot more ease in your breath, that you can finally breathe. You're not being suffocated anymore. And you just feel relaxed and at home within your body and within your family and with what you're doing. So good for you, because I know that things have been a little bit of an upheaval, and it feels like finally it's time for Lori to just be comfortable in her own skin. Perfect. Love that for you. All right. Tosh. Yours is the 8 of Cups. Now, the 8 of Cups is an emotional card, and it's like you've had a lot of stuff going on emotionally. There's a lot of cups. There's a lot of emotion that's been flowing. But now you're ready to kind of leave those emotions behind and journey forward. It doesn't mean you're not going to be emotional on your journey. It's just that your emotions aren't going to rule your journey. You're going to be able to move forward in your own space and in your own place. I'm really glad that these last readings are like in this positive place. Like, yes, okay, some of us are moving forward and we're going to start going on our journey, and you're still being guided by the divine. But sometimes this part of the journey, after all that emotions, we've got to take those last few steps up the hill on our own. And, you know, at the top of the hill, that's where everybody is. That's where the party is. That's where family is. That's where friendships are. They're at the top of the hill. But sometimes we've got to walk up that section all on our own. All right, Linda. Your card is the Hermit. It's one of the soul cards as well. And the Hermit is all about it's time for you to go inward. It's time for you to check out your inner light. What lights your soul? What lights you within? And you do have this companion who's by your side, but it's time for some reflection. It's time to look at what feeds your soul, what brings you life, what brings you purpose. And that often has to happen in solitude and in quiet and in meditation. And some people meditate by going out in nature. Some people by going by the water. Some people actually sit and meditate. Some people listen to beautiful music and it gets them into that place. But this is about you and your soul connecting and starting to communicate what is next for you on your soul's journey, and really checking in and evaluating that. And it's only for you to decide. This is not something where we get outside help or outside information. The Hermit needs to go inward, and we all have those times where we're our best counsel. And that's it for you right now. All right? All right, Suzanne. Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups, she rules her own kingdom, her own queendom, and she does it by being very in tune with her intuition and very in tune to her emotions. She uses her emotions as radar to understand what she's feeling in every moment, to understand when other people have crossed her boundaries, and being very definitive about that when it happens. So really hold on to the fact that you are in charge. And the best way you're in charge is by checking your own intuition, check what your own feelings are, and using them to guide you. Because you have this beautiful radar system that is ready to help you move forward. And that's what's going to guide you, sweetie. All right? All right, Randy. Princess of Swords for Randy. And again, the princess is that energy of like, you're out and ready to journey. And this journey is one with knowledge. And a princess is excited to go and find out new things and explore new ways and new ideas. But not from a very like stoic place, like a queen or a king. They're very stable. They're in their kingdom, right? A prince and a princess, they're out looking for adventure. And so this adventure for you is all about connecting to knowledge. And how do you get to have some new experiences, new things happen in your life? And this is being the princess is doing it from a playful place, where a prince is more of, you know, I got to get this done. You know, he's hacking his sword on his way through. A princess is kind of like, woohoo, we're going to go to the library and take out new books. So find the things that joyfully bring knowledge to you and go for it, because we're never too old to learn something new, right? So explore some things that have had you curious and give them a shot, because that's what it feels like for you this week. And Karen, happy Wednesday to you. Nice. The Ace of Pentacles. So this is a gift from the divine. And often the Ace of Pentacles is, I see it as them handing you coins. So it's like handing you what you need to take the next step forward. And Pentacles are all about our foundation. And so for a lot of us, it has to do with money. It has to do with our job. It has to do with stability. So basically, you're being handed stability by the divine. Your foundation is being held up by the divine. So there's nothing to worry about. That everything is taken care of for you. Don't worry about that piece, because we waste a lot of energy in worry, and there's no need to. You are totally, the divine has your back on this, and actually it's got your whole, it's your whole foundation. Exactly what you're standing on is built on your connection to the divine. So nice job for you. All right. So last card for Neshi for doing the work here. She's gonna love this card. The Star. Woohoo! She is shining brightly and sharing her gifts and sharing it in a beautiful, balanced, intuitive, spiritual way. And we are so happy that she's doing that, because it makes space for the rest of us to do the same. And with that, you guys, thanks for staying through, you know, the craziness and all the card readings. Check out my website, trinityhealingsanctuaries.com, if you want to have, you know, sessions with me, or to check out my healing blends that might help you on your journey. And with that, you guys have a beautiful rest of your evening, rest of your week. And I will check you out next Tuesday at noon for chakra sessions, or next week right here at 7 for soul connections. And with that, guys, have a great one. Talk soon.